All right, Jay. The next question is more about the company of Corsair, and that's more in relation of the vision, the mission of Corsair, the next coming years. So, what is your goal, your targets, and when can we expect also the first facilities and production facilities in Europe? But let's start it with your vision and mission for Corsair the coming, let's say, 8 years.
8 years. So let's say up to 2030.
Let's say 2030.
Okay,
yes.
perfect. So obviously our development plans are divided into short-term targets and then long-term targets as we're moving forward. To mention a few, what I believe would be the most important ones is that we are really passionate, as we all obviously know, very passionate about the plastic waste pollution, and we are putting in massive amounts of work, massive amounts of dedication and resources in creating the best possible solutions for solving that problem. Now, on that specific field, our target is to become one of the top 3 chemical recycling companies in the world during the next 12 to 24 months. I would say that we are today in top 5 globally, but we want to really get to that top 3. And with all of these new partnerships and collaborations that are now in the works, and which we are literally days away from making some major announcements on this, are going to speed up that process even more. And that means that this hard work that we've done in setting up the company and working a lot to get things moving and get the wheels turning is now going to pick up a lot more speed. And a lot of this, of course, has to do with funding. We've started with, as it's said in English, we started like with a shoestring budget.
Right.
We didn't have millions in the bank account when we started this. And every euro, every dollar that we've been able to put together, we've invested it into the facilities and into the business. And that's why we are right now in that very, very fortunate situation where we've been able to pay off the lands where we operate here in Thailand, pay off the buildings, pay off the machines. We own all that. And we as a company have very, very little liabilities. We don't have a lot of debt or liabilities. No, it's a very good situation.
Yeah.
And also our cash flow keeps on increasing as a company. So this gives us now a great sort of a platform to take off to the next level.
Right.
So how I kind of see the company Corsair, which includes everything in it, including the recycling part, the CSR plastic credit, the Amplivo network, everything that's part of it. I see the Corsair today as a company. It's like a rocket on a platform.
Right.
We got the engines are now being turned on, and we're just about to take off.
The foundation is below.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's where we are right now. So we really want to get this rocket.
I like that rocket.
Yeah. And it's gonna go really high.
Perfect.
So basically that's where we are now. Obviously, coming into more details regarding your question. So the plastic waste and solving that problem is the key focus of everything that we do.
Right.
The CSR plastic credit is very much tied to that. As of still right now, only related to the plastic waste. That doesn't mean that it can't do other things in the future, but right now it's tied into that. And will always be tied in that, but it could also have additional parts, just to be very clear on that. And I foresee that we as a company will grow to have production facilities more here in Southeast Asia for sure, in multiple European locations in the next coming years,
Right.
Also in the United States, in Africa, in Middle East, and probably something also in Australia. So in the next coming years, our most important sort of task and mission and strategy is to be able to open up these sort of satellites in different parts of the world, to basically get a base in US, get a base in Africa, get a base in Europe, get a base in the Middle East, and then start expanding from there.
Right.
So this is still very much in the laying of the foundation period, right? And every time when we do that, when we got new oil coming into production, that means that our cash flow increases. It means that our profitability increases.
You can scale it up more.
Yes.
Fast.
And with additional funding coming into play as a result of these collaborations and partnerships that we are now putting into action, right. We're no longer limited in our speed of expansion for the lack of funds. We've lived through that part already.
Right.
We've proven to everybody that we know what we're doing. We know where we're going. We know how this is done. And I believe that we have some of the best people in the industry working in Corsair to actually take this company to a global stage.
Right.
So that's the short-term immediate targets. Mm-hmm. To really expand, reach out now, expand into different parts of the world, get facilities up and running, start producing more and more oil in different parts of the world. Partially answering your second question there, we already have the first machine in Europe already.
All right.
And we are in the process of acquiring licenses for operations, for environmental licenses and factory processing licenses in multiple European countries. So Europe definitely plays a big part in our immediate and short-term plans.
Right.
Okay. So that's in the short term. Obviously, it also includes the development of the CSR plastic credit. We've spoken about that one earlier today in another video.
Yeah.
Where I believe that CSR will continue to be the leading plastic credit in the world and will have a massive success ahead of it, both in terms of deployment in applications as well as in the increase of its value. So that's definitely happening there. We got big things happening with Corsair still this year. We have some really big announcements that are coming, and we're just looking to expand the operations as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
That's for the immediate term.
Yeah.
For a longer term, let's say 2030, our target is to be able, by the year 2030, to be able to process on an annual basis 2 billion kilos of plastic waste each year.
Wow.
So that from that 2 billion kilos, we will be able to produce at least a minimum of 1 billion liters of advanced bio-oil.
That's 50%.
Yes, so that's at least.
Yes.
Probably it's going to be more than 1.5 billion with our current conversion ratio being upwards of 75%.
Right.
So from 1,000 kilos, we can in average make more than 750 liters of oil. With the proper pre-treatment, processing, removing of contaminations from the plastic raw material, we can bring that up to 95%, which is obviously our target. But if I look at the sort of minimum worst case scenario, that means that by 2030, Corsair would be producing at least that 1 billion liters of oil per year.
Wow.
Doing that will allow us to supply the market with 1% of the market demand.
1%.
Correct. The current
Wow.
The current demand for our type of oil globally right now is approximately 100 billion liters a year.
100 billion.
Correct. So with that 1 billion liters per year production, we have a 1% market share.
That's why a lot of companies, oil companies, wants to have a collaboration with you.
Absolutely.
Right. So can you also, when I hear that you have reached a prestigious certificate a couple of weeks ago, and that's called the ISCC certification. Can you tell something about that one? Because I think it's prestigious thing that you have reached on that one.
Absolutely. The ISCC is without a doubt the leading the highest quality certification that you can get in the circular economy and sustainability industry. The process to acquire that certification needs that the company must go through up to 12 months. In our case, it was about 9 months of auditing, inspections, where basically everything from your production records, your processing, how you handle your raw material, how you do your processing, what you do with the product, everything is being audited and inspected. And
huge process.
It's a big process. The
Yes.
time-consuming process takes a lot of work to go through it, and we are very happy to say that we are today the only and the first plastic waste chemical recycling company in Thailand to have such a certificate, and also one of the only chemical recycling companies in the world.
Yeah.
There are other players in the same industry who have also gone through that, which is fantastic. And what we are seeing is that the ISCC certification is really becoming the sort of how would I say, requirement for you to be in this industry.
Yeah, let's say that you have with the ISCC certification, it opens the doors with other companies who like to have the collaboration with companies who has the ISCC certification as well.
Correct. And
Otherwise, if you have no ISCC certification, you cannot have the collaborations on high level, right?
No. And the reason is that all the plastic manufacturing companies, all the oil companies, they are all ISC certified, which means that in order for them to do their operations properly and to keep their license, they have to and they can only use raw material suppliers who are also ISCC certified.
Right.
And therefore, when you look at any operations like what we're doing, any other chemical recycling factory somewhere, what really differentiates a science project or a backyard project from a real established company is the ISCC certification. If you got ISCC certificate, okay, you've done some things in the right way, right?
Perfect, yeah.
That doesn't yet mean that you are successful, but at least your operations have been certified to be done on the proper way.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you. If you don't have that certificate, you can't deal, like you said, you can't even sell your product.
Like
your oil.
ISO 9001.
Similar to that, yes.
Yeah.
And which is also another certificate that we're working with right now.
Oh, right.
So we should have ours in the next coming months as well.
So that means that you have more possibilities to collaborate with other companies as well, with companies who has already reached the ISO 9001 and
Absolutely.
ISCC as well.
Yeah. And with the ISO, it's just an example that we want to work always with all the different highest level standards and requirements.
Right.
We want to be part of that. We're not trying to walk away or stay away. We want to be part of that process. And coming into the original question there as well, is that while we're looking to save the planet, clean the planet from the plastic pollution, we want to make sure that we don't damage the environment while doing so. And that's where all of these environmental, health, safety, security aspects and these requirements
You
are
don't
really
want to
focused
have the
on.
pollution again from the
Exactly.
production of
That would be very
plastics.
counterproductive, right?
Yeah,
So it has to be done in a proper way.
yeah,
Now, just to add a little bit to that, obviously, like I said in the beginning, our main focus with the company is in the field of plastic waste. But we are also very passionate about solving other problems, such as, for example, the water pollution,
all right.
such as, for example, air pollution, such as, for example, generating and creating new solutions for more environmentally friendlier traffic fuels, which is a big thing that we're working now as well. So all of these things coming together is where Corsair is aiming to be a major player in the world on the area of waste management, of pollution management, and then of providing new solutions for example, the traffic and transportation industries.
Wow. It's a very good vision on that one as well.
Yes.
So,
and of course, with the CSR plastic credit, like I said, we want to maintain to be the leading plastic credit out there. I foresee Corsair as a company to grow into valuation of billions of dollars. I even actually went as far as saying the other day that you know, I'm 40 years old myself right now, and I don't see myself retiring, you know, before I'm 80.
mm-hmm.
So I got another 40 years.
With your plastic neutrality certification.
Yeah,
you can
exactly. Exactly. So, you know, I don't see myself retiring in the next 40 years. So, you know, by the time we get to there, you know, I'm going to do everything in my power to build this company, not only to the level of billion-dollar companies, but to actually become a trillion-dollar company.
Wow.
You already got a list of companies that have already reached that level. Apple, which was the first one, and many other companies. But that's where I see Corsair. Not yet in 2030. We'll definitely hit billions as a company valuation by then, without a doubt. I'm not even questioning that anymore. But I see a great opportunity for Corsair to grow into a trillion-dollar company. You know, just give me a little time, and we'll get there.
I like your vision, and very, very good.
Yeah, you know, just to add to that on a personal note, you know, what I really enjoy about what we're doing is that I've seen friends of mine, successful business people who have built a successful business in IT or hospitality or real estate or finance. And, you know, usually the story always goes the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They worked hard, they focused on building a business, the business became successful, they sold the business, they made their exit, and now they're sitting on a pile of cash.
Right.
Okay? Once you get to that point, that all of your financial needs are covered, yours, your children's, your future generations, you're no longer working for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
The money is no longer a target for you. You've already done everything that you wanted to do there.
Right.
There's always then the next chapter is to fulfill the spiritual needs.
The passion.
Exactly. And that's why you see a lot of successful people, once they've made all the money, they've fulfilled their financial needs, now to turn into charity. Right?
Right.
Because once you're in that level, you are now searching for something to make yourself feel more important, right? Looking for not in a way like you want to brag or you want to get the admiration from people, but let's say that people are really searching for the purpose and looking for the answer for the question, why am I here? What's my purpose? Why was I put into this planet, right? And how can I maybe leave this planet in a better condition than it was when I arrived?
Right.
That's why you got these billionaires making commitments to donate like 95% of their wealth to charity when they pass away. Warren Buffett is one. I think Mark Zuckerberg is one. Bill Gates is one. A lot of these guys have done the same things. Okay, when I'm gone, 95% is going to go into charity.
Right.
And during their life, they're already donating a lot into good causes. The reason for these people to do that, and even on a smaller level, entrepreneurs who made millions, not necessarily billions, are searching for that same fulfillment for their soul, that purpose. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
How can I help? And, if you made a fortune in an industry like, let's say, selling bathroom equipment, okay, selling toilets, or in finance, or whatever, great, you made a bunch of money, but maybe it wasn't so gratifying for your soul.
Right.
And now you're retired, now you're sitting on that cash, you want to put that into some good use. I don't have that problem. Because what we are doing is so absolutely amazing that it motivates and it drives me personally. I know the same thing is for you, for all of our key people in the company, in the network, in the community, because we don't have to look for that, gratifying feeling 10 years from now or 5 years from now or 6 months. We're getting it every day. We know that what we are building here is something that is changing the world right in front of us. Every day when we do our job, when we just keep on doing what we're doing, we're making the planet a better place. We're changing the lives of millions of people around the world. We're providing amazing financial opportunities to people to get financial independence and financial freedom in a massive level. Like we're talking about multimillionaires and billionaires that will be created in combination with the plastic waste revolution, with the digital revolution that we're seeing, and with the energy that we're involved with. All of these things combined is going to make a lot of people a lot of money. So we are already involved in that. So for me to even consider selling the company, and I've been asked this question many times.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about selling the company? Or how much would you sell the company? I don't think there's a price for that. Because we're going to make the money just by doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And selling the company, for example, for me, would mean that then I would need to go out there and try to find something better.
Another thing.
And honest to God, I don't know anything more exciting, more better, or more gratifying than what we're doing right now.
That's what I'm feeling when you talk about this thing. Not even talk about the company, but just share your ideas and your passion. The energy is amazing.
Yes.
So that's enough for a lot of people to see that kind of energy and the passion what you are doing. And I think that's a very, very good thing to. That's your mission and your vision, but your mission is to save the planet, and
exactly.
I feel that.
Great.
So thank you very much, Jay, for the
Thanks
explanation of what your vision is for the Corsair in the next decades. So thank you very much for this one.
Thank you.